September 8th is celebrated around the world as International Literacy Day, with this year's theme, Literacy in a Digital World. Literacy Day highlights challenges, opportunities in promoting education in a digital world. With at least 750 million adults, 364 million out of school children lack basic literacy skills, according to UNESCO. Welcome to Readers for Growth. This week, in the spirit of International Literacy Day, we're reaching you from the Kuchingoro IDP camp in Abuja. My name is Busola Faiga Okweolu. Don't go away. Stay with us.
We love Readers for Growth. Keep watching Leaders for Growth. Keep watching Leaders for Growth.
Good boy.
Keep watching Leaders for Growth. Keep watching Leaders for Growth.
Keep watching Readers for Growth.
Good boy.
Keep watching Readers for Growth. I love Readers for Growth. My name is Rekia Simon.
Reke Simon, how old are you?
I am 11 years old.
What school do you attend?
LEA Primary School, City Gate, Abuja, Durumi 1.
Okay, Durumi. What do you think government should do about education for you?
I want him to buy some bags, pen, books, socks, sandals.
Save lives.
Yes.
Now you are here at the IDP camp in Kujinkoro. How did you get here?
What?
How did you get here?
I got here because of there's no money and the cost war in our side.
Where are your parents?
They are here.
They're also here.
Yes, no.
Okay. You want to be a doctor when you grow up?
Yes.
What class are you?
Just 3.
You're just 3. Which school do you go to?
I go to area 1.
Area 1 within this.
Area 1, center 1. Yes.
So do you understand anything by what you are doing today?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I understand that they want to make us a greater people in future, and they want to make us not to be illiterate, to make us know how to read and write.
And what do you think about it? What do you feel?
I feel that what they are really doing well, and may God bless them.
How old are you?
I am 13 years old.
Your name?
Abubakar Abdurrahman.
What school do you go to?
I go to school without us, Camp Devil.
How did you get to this camp?
We suffered because of Boko Haram, that's why we are here.
Are your parents here?
Yes.
So what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a doctor
Why? Why do you want to be a doctor?
so I can help sick people.
We love readers for God. Keep watching leaders for growth. Keep watching leaders for God.
Good boy.
Keep watching leaders for growth. Keep watching leaders for growth.
Keep watching readers for growth.
Good boy.
Keep watching readers for growth. I love readers for growth.
September 8 is celebrated as International Literacy Day by UNESCO. The aim is to highlight the importance of literacy to communities and societies. Literacy Day is observed by all United Nations member states. It is believed that 1 in 5 adults are still not literate, and with 2/3 of them being women. 60.7 million children are out of school, and many more are believed not to attend school regularly or have dropped out. According to UNESCO's Global Monitoring Report on Education for All, South and West Asia has the lowest regional adult literacy rate of 58.6%, followed by Sub-Saharan Africa with 59.7%, Arab states 62.7%. Countries with the lowest literacy rates are Burkina Faso 12.8%, Niger Republic 14.4%, and Mali 19%. To celebrate the day, Readers for Growth took campaign of reading to the Kuchingoro IDP camp, where guests at the occasion read to the children. The children also took turns in reading in the spirit of Literacy Day. Guests at the occasion expressed their views.
Well, I think this is great because already we have seen the new age of digital time as a distraction from books and from reading. So we have to make a conscious effort to draw attention back. So our book will now be the next distraction. And for me, this is timely and it is calculated to be able to bring back the book in a way that it appeals to people. So books are now going to be in digital form more. People will appreciate e-books. People will appreciate true reading in the form of digital format. So this choice is a deliberate attempt to meet the new age, to meet the digital age. And for me, it's just, there's no better theme than this. We were worried in the few years that passed that young people were no longer reading, and older people are grappling, throwing down their books and trying to catch up. But what we are reading are not books. So if we want to read books, we need to put them in the format that people are reading, and that's digital, and that's the way to go.
Okay. Well, actually, we've been talking about a drop in the reading culture, and generally people complain and complain. But interestingly, you find that students do read. It is perhaps what they read that we may not find too relevant in terms of what they are supposed to be doing. You know, they are supposed to be in school, they have their course books that they are meant to read, but they spend a lot of time reading things on the social media. And these are usually the chats they have with their friends, the blogs that they, key into. So, how much do they read? They read well into the night. Sometimes they don't sleep because they are busy reading. But do they read the right thing, or what we want them to read at that time? That perhaps is the issue.
How can we go about correcting them to do the needful, the proper thing?
I think one way of doing it is what we are doing here. Catching them young, getting them to love reading no matter what. And so it becomes a part of their daily routine. For some, you'll find that if you don't read something, you really don't feel that your day is complete. But also is that, even at this level, making what we introduce them to interesting, colorful, exciting, stories they can relate to, so that they will feel the yearning to go further. But by the time they come to us, since I belong to the university, they come to us at the university level, habits are already formed. And it's very difficult at that point to get them. But what they do, of course, is a lot of them are more interested in rote learning. So you find that at the end, they will still pass. They will pass because all they want is to have just for exam. But the kind of reading that I'm interested in, and which RAN stands for, is the reading that makes you equips you for life. Not reading that is tailored to just one subject per se. But because you can read so well, you can also read the one subject that you're interested in.
The Federal Ministry of Education has actually been doing a lot to promote reading culture. In fact, in the ministry, we have a branch called the Read Campaign. And the essence of the Read Campaign is actually one of the reform initiatives to make sure that reading is taken to every corner, that reading culture is restored, is sustained, and is being promoted. So the Ministry of Education is doing a lot, and we do a lot of activities. We reach out to the grassroots, we organize a reading competition among students, and we do an awareness campaign. We teach teachers so that they will be able to teach children how to read and how to write. So there are lots of activities that we do to make sure that we restore the reading culture in Nigeria.
It benefits to read. You grow higher when you read, and you gain wisdom when you read.
Readers who read to improve themselves, who read to educate themselves, and who read for success rule the world.
For you to grow and become a senator, you must learn how to read. Read to understand. Read as many books as you can.
Reading helps you develop yourself intellectually, academically, and otherwise.
The secret to being proficient in reading is to read every day and to read outside of your curriculum, to read novels and to read books of interest.
A well-read child is a cultured child, a successful citizen, and the future of our great country. And that's why all parents need to encourage their children to read.
Read today, lead tomorrow.
I think one of the main ways of promoting reading culture is to reduce the amount of television that children are watching. Children watch far too much TV these days. I think parents should learn to set aside a time for their children to read. Buy more books in the house, encourage them from an early age. Even if they are just toddlers and they can't read, buy books for them. They might tear them, they might, deface them, but eventually they will get round to knowing that books are worthy and they should be read. Sit down with your children, read with them, encourage them to read to you. Those are the kind of things that encourage children to read.
What can be done to bridge the gaps in education sector?
A lot can be done. One by reviewing the curriculum and ensuring that it is all inclusive. Then by equipping, retraining the teachers, bringing in libraries, encouraging reading is very important. And retraining teachers that have interest in reading, ensuring that NGOs go into reading, because readers are leaders. If we exclude, now it's said that we have 10.5 million children out of school. And if they are not reading, we are in trouble. And that is why we have terrorism, all sorts of manner of problems in the country. So if we equip them, we encourage them to read, we bring in books, newspapers, magazines, bringing in print media, bringing people like you to talk about it, creating awareness on reading, telling parents that, look, it is good to watch television, it is still good to read, both in digital form and in hard form. By doing that, it should be all inclusive so that the children will pick interest and to motivate students, children in particular. If we motivate them to read, they will read.
Yes, first of all, we need to make the books available. It should be available to them, because when they can, it's only what they can access that can get their interest. If we make the books available, they'll be able to pick it up maybe in their homes, in their classes, it should be available for them. And for the early readers, it should be attractive. It should be attractive. It should be colorful. It should be something that that will get their attention. I think availability of the books is number one. That will help them to read it, and also sensitizing the importance of reading.
It benefits to read. You grow higher when you read, and you gain wisdom when you read.
Readers who read to improve themselves, who read to educate themselves, and who read for success rule the world.
For you to grow and become a senator, you must learn how to read. Read to understand. Read as many books as you can.
Reading helps you develop yourself intellectually, academically, and otherwise.
The secret to being proficient in reading is to read every day and to read outside of your curriculum, to read novels and to read books of interest.
A well-read child is a cultured child, a successful citizen, and the future of our great country. And that's why all parents need to encourage their children to read.
Read today, lead tomorrow.
Put your hands together for yourself. Hello, children. I want to hear you. Hello, children. If you know you can shout, give me a shout. Okay. So we are going to just start reading. Please, assuming that we have the whole time, we'll call everybody to come and read. But we don't have the whole time. So we'll just read, maybe line by line, and read a story for the children, and the children will also read back to us. Thank you very, very much. We are glad to have you. God bless you. I will start the reading, and then I will... Story! The book I am reading, the story is from Emeka the Great Hunter. Let me hear you say Emeka the Great Hunter. Now listen. Emeka lived in a village called Amaeta. He was a great hunter and a very famous man in Amaeta. One day, Emeka woke up very early in the morning and went to hunt in the bush, which was just a stone's throw from his village. While hunting, Emeka came across a very big antelope. Let me hear you say antelope. Antelope! Hey, behold an antelope, he said in his mind. He quickly took a big log of wood and knocked down the antelope. The antelope lost its consciousness and fell on the ground breathlessly. He rushed down to it and stabbed it with his machete, making sure it did not escape.
He gradually wrapped it in a big sack and carried it into a basin. He lifted it up to his head and immediately made his way back home. On his way home, he met Uche, who happened to be his old friend and his hunting partner. Uche was happy to meet him. Thank you for listening.
Nna, good morning. This one you are coming home so early. What could it be this time around? Uche asked. Morning. You are so lucky today. It's an antelope, Emeka responded. They both interacted and went straight to Emeka's house. Emeka was so excited. Immediately they arrived home, Emeka brought down the basin containing the antelope. He spread the antelope in front of his house for people to see. Uche congratulated him as he was very happy for Emeka's success. Thank you.
Within a short time, people gathered at Emeka's house, staring at the big antelope and congratulating him. The women began to sing high praises as a sign of congratulation. It was indeed a great day for Emeka. He was filled with joy and gladness. When the king heard of it, he sent for Emeka immediately. Emeka wondered why the king had sent for him. The king congratulated him also as he arrived at the palace and pleaded for Emeka to sell everything to him.
Are you listening? Emeka willingly sold the antelope to the king at such a very good and affordable price. Both the king and Emeka were grateful. The king thanked Emeka and blessed him. May the good God that gave you this one continue to give you. The king said, may you reign forever, my king. Emeka said and departed.
Emeka is in village market. It was an Eke market day in Amaita. It was the market day when all the dwellers and Igbo people from neighboring villages gathered together at the market to buy and sell. Emeka also came to the market with the remaining meat he had purchased yesterday. Everywhere in the market was already crowded when he arrived. He opened his shop and began to slaughter the meat. It wasn't difficult for him to sort the meat because he had packed them accordingly so that it would be easy for him to select. Many people came to Emeka's shop to buy meat. Emeka was a well-known hunter and he had a lot of customers.
A time's kidnapper was a rather tall, skinny headsman with a face that would stop a clock. He had a patch of stiff short hair on the face, like a man who has not shaven for at least 50 days. She knew her kidnapper and could recall he was the only beggar by the door to the popular night market at the outskirts of the village. She remembered she would always look beside her and see the beggar chew his fingernails. She could not see how the poor beggar matches her kind of a man.
Atini's kidnapper was a rather tall, skinny herdsman with a face that would stop a clock. He had a patch of stiff, short hairs on the face like a man who hasn't shaven for at least 50 days. She knew her kidnapper and could recall he was the only beggar by the door to the popular night market at the outskirts of the village. She remembered she would always look beside her and see the beggar chew his fingernails. She could not see how the poor beggar matches her kind of a man.
We love leaders for growth. Keep watching leaders for growth. Keep watching leaders for growth.
Good boy.
Keep watching leaders for growth. Keep watching leaders for growth.
Keep watching leaders for growth.
Good boy.
Keep watching leaders for growth. I love leaders for growth.
Don't let us wait for another September 8th before we celebrate Literacy Day. As a Nigerian, part of our fundamental human right is the right to education. Let's educate the children in this camp. The only way is for you and I to rise up to the challenge and provide for their educational needs. Education is key. I am Busola Faiga Okpelu. Next week is another date.